So
Yeah.
when did you start bringing the horses in? How long was it before you came and moved in?
I actually had a horse down here before the barn was built.
Right, before the barn was built?
It was one of those deals where I put the driveway in one year, the water in one year, the fencing in a few years later, and then finally I had fencing, and since I had fencing, I went ahead and got my first mare.
Right.
And with that, the barn kind of came along, and as soon as that barn was up, I was in business.
I know, when you were here.
Yeah. I started my first breeding program with one mare in '03. The next year I had 2 mares, the next year I had 3 mares. By the time '05 rolled around, I was getting out of the breeding business because I just had too much.
How many horses at that time did you have?
I only had about 5. I actually had a band of 9 mares. Nine mares that I had in foal to Kentucky Stallions. And we ended up being successful with a few of those mares that had babies, and the babies won some nice allowance races in Indiana.
Right.
And with that, I had a few investors that wanted to get back in the game and up the ante. And of course, I told you I was looking to maybe just kind of cool it and get out for a while because I had had my role and I had fun. And it's tough. But these guys wanted to invest, and it was all I could, I had to say yes.
Right, so in the end, how many horses did you have before you started slowing down and coming down?
About 3 years ago, I had 42 horses here at the farm.
42 horses. It's not cheap, is it?
I had 15 brood mares with 15 babies by their sides.
Right.
In full, or actually by Patton, who Brereton Jones sent to me to stand here in Indiana, and Patton was a great stallion, great racehorse, great stallion. I think he's sired over maybe 30 plus stake horses.
Wow.
He's actually produced a grade 1 winner, which is a Kentucky Derby type race or better. So I was very fortunate to have Patton here standing in Indiana, and it actually it put me in the standings for the #1 breed farm here in Indiana. But all that was because of Patton.
Right.
So now we bred those mares, and 9, the babies hit the ground, and 10, they're now 4-year-olds.
Right.
And we are at the racetrack with the best of that crop of 15, which is 4 nice racehorses by Patton. So they've all been born, foaled, raised here, the whole deal, and conditioned on the Equigym, and now they're at the racetrack.
Right. We're going to see a couple more of your horses because they're so beautiful. And also we'd like to see your beautiful kitchen and your house.
Oh, come
Can
on.
we do that?
Come on.
Come on. You know, Nick, what really amazes me when I first met you many years ago was what your fascination was with horses. And I remember you had told me that your dad loved horses, right?
Boy, my dad loved horses so much. We have photos of him in the restaurant looking at thoroughbred books behind the counter in 1952.
Really?
Yeah, and he used to saddle up a little pony for me when I was 5 years old and have it tied to the back porch every morning in the summertime. I'd wake up and go down there and there'd be a pony all saddled up, ready to go. And I guess that's what kind of got me hooked as far as riding. I rode horses all my life. I got my first real riding horse when I was 12, and I rode that horse every day till about 16, and when I got my wheels,
You got your wheels.
I kind of quit riding the horse.
When did you start again?
Thunder.
Thunder?
About 2 years later, I started saving my money to claim a racehorse.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I worked at the Gulf Oil Refinery on a couple summer shutdown jobs for high school people. And with that, saved some money. And finally, I'll never forget, one morning I was staying at home with Mom and Dad. I was 18 years old, and I was upstairs, and I think I was out drinking the night before, and my dad says to me, he yells up the steps, he says, "Nick," he goes, "Bill Fossil just called, and he's got this great horse picked out for us." And I said, well, I woke up, and I was just like, whoa, I'm thinking, but Dad, I go, we don't know anything about him. He said, Bill knows what he's doing. He goes, you're supposed to meet Ron Tomlinson over at Turfway Park, and you guys are going to drive down to Keeneland Race Course and claim this horse out of the second race at Keeneland today.
Wow.
Well, we got down to Keeneland, and this was the day of the Bluegrass Stakes.
Wow.
And the race was for 5,000 claiming. Well, now they don't even run a claiming race on the day of the Bluegrass.
I didn't know what a claiming race
That's a race for horses that are in for a claiming price, meaning they can be bought.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so you have to get all the cash in advance and get it down there in the deposit box and fill out the claim slip and have everything just right. And then as soon as that horse leaves the starting gate, he becomes your property.
Oh, wow.
So if he breaks down, you lose.
Wow.
So Corktown Hero runs second that day, and I'll never forget it. I claimed him off of T.A. Grissom. T.A. Grissom was the breeder and owner and breeder of the first Kentucky Derby winner, Aristides. So here's a gentleman that has been in the horse racing business since 1860 something.
Wow.
Bred and won the first Kentucky Derby, and I've just claimed a horse from him. This particular horse, Corktown Hero, had 1 win when I claimed him. When he finished his racing career, he had 8 wins, 11 seconds, 11 wins, 8 seconds, and 13 thirds.
Wow. And how old are you when?
I was 18, 19 years old, and that's kind of what really got me kind of hooked. Oh, interested. Let me tell you, to get your picture taken that many times,
Especially as a young guy.
That was my new name, Corktown.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Right, so every gal in the world wanted to know your name, right?
Well, I don't think it was that good, but it was a lot of fun for me, and I had just a great time. But that's really that's when I really caught the bug with the horse racing. And of course, my dad was so into it, and we were always into it, and that's why I saved up money to claim this.
Well, what did he think then?
Oh, he had the ride of his life too. We both just had a great time.
So, anyhow, and he worked up until when?
My dad worked up until he ended up having a couple heart attacks in his 60s, and then finally passed away at 77 in 1997.
In 1997, wow. What a ride.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
So when
Boy,
your
if he
mom,
could,
when
if he
you,
could see this, if he could see
he'd be thrilled.
Yeah, he would.
When you first told your mom that you were going to do this, what'd she think?
What, this deal here?
Yeah.
Well, she always knew I wanted to do it, so it wasn't a big surprise.
Right.
But it just turned into so much cooler than I ever imagined.
Right.
You know?
So let's meet some of the other horses. Do you mind?
Yeah, I don't mind at
Okay,
all.
let's talk. This is 2 beautiful horses. This is the mom, right?
Yep.
Hi, and what's her name?
This is Marigo.
Hi, Marigo. How are you? You're beautiful. And,
Marigo
and this is her foal.
That's her foal. Let's see, Marigo's 7 and 4. Marigo is a 7-year-old mare,
Wow.
and this is her first foal.
Oh, her first foal. Hi,
We kind of nicknamed him Go Man Go.
Go, man, go.
Go Man Go.
Oh.
Marigo's first foal. So Marigo
Oh, you're beautiful.
is by Wando.
Oh, I didn't mean
Marigo's
to.
dad is
I'm sorry, I was
Wando.
going to pet you. Hello.
Wando.
Uh-huh.
Wando was the Canadian Triple Crown winner. So
Really?
in the U.S. we have the Triple Crown, which is the Kentucky Derby and the Preakness and the Belmont.
Right.
Well, up in Canada they have their own Triple Crown.
Right.
And her daddy was the Triple Crown winner. He made like $8.2 million at the races.
Wow.
She is out of a mare that had 14 babies.
14 babies.
So Marigo has 13 brothers and sisters,
Wow.
including herself, 14 babies out of her mom, and they were
Wow.
all winners. And they just about all broke their maidens for $75,000 at Saratoga or higher.
Wow.
So that type of horse. When she broke her maiden at Keeneland, when she won her first race at Keeneland Race Course, she was 1/5 of a second off the track record.
Wow.
So a little bit of racehorse blood there, and she's one of the only mares I kept.
Well, I can understand why.
So we're excited about
You're so
Marigo and her
beautiful.
future.
You really are.
Yeah.
So now how long, the baby's only, the foal is 3 months?
The foal is 100 days old
Wow.
right now.
Wow.
Yeah.
And
And Bill, come on over here, man, and get that camera over here so we can
you have to see
get
this.
a nice shot.
Right.
I'm going to shut this door here and let you shoot right through here.
Shoot, right here. Oh. Wow. They're so gentle, aren't they?
Yeah, they're gentle, but they're just getting used to having some hands on them.
Right.
And he's a cantankerous
no.
type colt. Couldn't get a hand on him as a baby, and now he's so gregarious. You know, horses are gregarious. They want to be around other horses and be around people.
Right.
As long
Well,
as they're
he's
comfortable.
coming
Now
out.
don't let her out.
No.
But at the
No.
same time, you see how he's acting with me?
Can you shoot like this?
You know what I mean? He doesn't want to be bothered, but he wants to be right up front. You know what I'm saying?
Right, I can understand that. I can understand that. Now you have another horse down here. You have another horse down here that, and you also have another room or whatever for somebody to stay, right?
Yeah, I have the stable suite upstairs, which is a guest room, and it's
kind
for
of
visitors.
Right.
And then we have a captain's quarters right there.
Right there. And then
Greg
a little
stays.
area where you can watch television.
Yeah, we
right?
watch TV in the morning when we have coffee and
Oh,
at night.
that's good.
Stuff.
That's good. Now let's
And
talk.
I'm just doing it for fun now. So
Oh, are you?
all the commercial, you know, of course, we have high hopes of having something great happen, but we're just doing it
Because you love
for
horses.
fun.
Right.
So we got rid of the 42 horses, and now we have 2 mares in foal and a handful of prospects.
Right.
And those prospects I'm seeing through to fruition because it's something that I started in '09.
Right.
Fought long and hard to hold on to it, so I feel like
An
I have to
obligation.
see it through.
Yeah,
Not an
right.
obligation, I just feel like we're up for some greatness here. So,
Right. Now tell us about this beautiful horse here.
all right, this is Here Comes Karen.
Here comes Karen.
Yeah, and she was a racing prospect up until about a year ago,
Yeah.
and she had a little injury, and that stopped her from being a racehorse, and now she's in foal to the same stallion as the baby is by, Mondavi.
Right. Now
here.
she's 3 months along.
She's about 3 months along, and
So they're
And
just like
she's,
a regular mom, 9 months, right?
no, 11 months, 10 days.
11 months, 10
11 months
days.
and 10 days for horses, right?
For horses.
Yeah.
So that would be when?
Well, let's see. She's about 60 days into it, and we're in July. So 9 months from July is right around May. No, April. And then another 10 days. So probably about April 26th, 25th.
wow.
Today's the
Wow.
15th of July.
We need to be here when
Okay.
she has a baby.
Oh, I'll be here.
The foal.
But
What
yeah.
are they like when the fall comes out? Do you know exactly when? Is the vet here?
Well, you're anticipating and you're clocking her, and you know when her due date is, and
Right.
you know what her certain symptoms are and what her body starts to do close to foaling. In other words, she'll be making a lot of milk.
Right.
She'll be waxing up, and you'll get a little indentation in the back. And then, of course, depending on how big and pregnant she is, the closer you get, they get uncomfortable. And then finally, when she's due, you need to start clocking her and be here 24 hours. 24 hours a day, so you don't miss out on the action,
Yeah,
because it
right.
can happen anytime. So you can't afford to go to sleep. You have to have somebody watching her the whole time, and that's the tough part about it. But it's not tough if you plan it and anticipate it and
Right.
have a great staff.
Right, that's great. And
Right.
that's the most important thing, I think, as
Yeah.
well. And I mean, this is such a beautiful place. I really, really love it. And Greg, he is got a green thumb like I've never seen before.
I'm telling you.
Can you show the little garden? We'd like to see it.